Welcome back to Ozarks Tonight. Well, most of us know that athletes that participate in sports like football or baseball can benefit from a training program, but could the same benefits extend over to first responders like police officers and firefighters? Amy Cruz, an athletic trainer with Cox Health, is joining us on the show tonight to speak on the tactical athlete training program at Cox Health that is geared towards helping police and firefighters prepare for the challenges they may face on the job. Amy, thanks for being here.
Thank you for having me.
So my first question is, how did this program come about? Because it's definitely a cool idea.
Yeah, I've always kind of thought about working with a non-traditional athlete. And when I was working at Ozark High School as the head athletic trainer, we do training with various EMS clinicians and firefighters. And during that training, through various conversations, I kind of started to understand that there is a gap in service, that they are an underserviced patient population. There's access to certain aspects of injury prevention that your traditional athlete has that these men and women don't have.
All right, and just kind of compare and contrast like the difference between, say, a football, baseball, basketball player, some of the more traditional athletes that we see, and first responders. How are they similar? How are they different? How is it important to prepare them for their day-to-day work as well?
There's actually more similarities than I think people realize. When you talk about an individual who their activity is going to include sprinting, jumping, tackling, I think it's easy to start naming off sports that reminds you of, whether it be football or soccer or basketball. But those exact same activities are including in law enforcement. Or you think about the football players wearing a lot of equipment and how heavy that is and how that adds to what they do. But you have firefighters wearing 50 to 70 pounds of gear when they work. So when you get into the physicality of what is required of these men and women, there's some very big similarities that cross over to the sports world. Differences, though, in the sporting world, I think there is a certain level of competition that can be mentally stressful, but is something that people crave and thrive off of and enjoy, and as a form of entertainment, obviously. But the mental stress that these men and women undergo is quite a bit different.
Now, walk us through, what a typical training session would be like. Say you have a group of police officers that come in for a day of training. What kind of drills or activities do you put them through?
Most of what I do is going to be more geared towards injury prevention. When you look at especially some of the bigger departments, they tend to have access to sometimes a gym, whether it's locally or within their department. So they're already working out and doing what they call PT, which is their training. So I like to come alongside them and look at how they're training to teach them ways that they can do things that will hopefully prevent injury, but also enhance their performance.
Excellent. I guess just give us an example of maybe some of those drills or activities that they're doing to make sure they're not rolling an ankle or anything like that when they're out on the scene.
Yeah, definitely. The drills and activities are geared a lot of times towards taking care of the details of the body that you'll see athletes doing. So you'll see before a basketball game, you might see a foam roller out on the court and they're rolling out some muscles, or you might see them doing some small exercises as they stretch. And so those type of things we're doing with them as well. So I go in and a lot of times I'm teaching them how to use a foam roller or a lacrosse ball to release that soft tissue before they get ready to train. Or we might be talking about doing some glute activation or core activation exercises to have better access to those muscles before they train, and then how to incorporate them within PT as well.
All right. Now, when these first responders come in to your program, are these some things that they had maybe worked on before, or, are some of these, ways to prepare for their job kind of new? Is this a new frontier, I guess you could say?
It seems to be new to a certain extent. There's various levels of learning curves, I guess you could say. You'll go in and you'll have a few that I think this is very normal for them. Maybe it's the younger firefighter or police officer or paramedic, and they maybe are just out of high school, and this is something that they learned when they participated in sports. But then you have just that individual who's further along in their career, and this is brand new information for them. So it's quite a bit more of a learning curve than you'll see in the sporting world.
Now, what has surprised you most about this program? First of all, just tell us how long the program's been going on, and what are some surprises you've seen?
We started this about 4 years ago, and when we first got into it, it really was recognizing that there was a gap in treating this patient population, and wanting to get in and be a part of helping to bridge that gap with some injury prevention. And to be honest, the thing that surprised me the most is the mental wellness side of it. I think we think when we call 911, they're going to come and they're going to fix the problem for us, or be a part of the solution for someone. And what I didn't anticipate is, even within injury prevention, having conversations that have to do with mental wellness, because the long and short of it is, these men and women go to serve their communities, and on a daily basis, they see a lot of people having their worst day. They see a lot of bad, and that takes its toll.
All right, for folks, maybe different departments or agencies around the area that would like to take part in this program, how can they get a hold of you all?
It's very easy. You can email me, Amy Cruz, and that's at industrialservices@coxhealth.com. And we have a few different people that monitor that email address, so we can very promptly get back with you.
All right, Amy, we appreciate you coming on the show. Very informative.
Thank you very much for having me.
All right, we'll be back with more Ozarks Tonight right after this.